Yesterday, Budweiser and Bud Light trucks pulled into the tiny town of White Clay, Nebraska, and within minutes, customers staggering in from the binge the night before were approaching. Monday is beer delivery day in the town that is host to the biggest liquor racket in the nation. Mother Jones reports, in 2009, the most recent year for which we have statistics, the 4 liquor stores in the town of about a dozen full-time residents sold 4.6 million cans of beer, or roughly 383,333 cans per person, or 1,009 cans of beer per resident per day. White Clay seems to exist only to provide alcohol to the native population that lives on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. There's nothing in any direction except for north, where somewhere between 18,000 and 40,000 Oglala Lakota Sioux live.
People like you ruin it for everyone else that's up here. You guys ought to keep your nose to your own business and stay the fuck away from us.
Shouted one of the customers of the liquor store after making his purchase. This is not a friendly environment. In fact, it's a thorny one with a thorny issue at the center. Today there will be a vote on whether or not to allow alcohol on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, South Dakota's last dry res and home to the Oglala Sioux people. For over a century, alcohol has been illegal here.
He's a abused child, don't listen.
Don't worry.
He's not all there.
Said an anonymous onlooker standing nearby. The onlooker wants alcohol to be legal on the reservation, so much so that he spray-painted "Legalize alcohol on the res" on a nearby building. As many as 2/3 of adults on Pine Ridge may be alcoholics. 1/4 of children are born with fetal alcohol spectrum disorders, according to the New York Times. Miss Sue Little Davis, who occupies the Zero Alcohol, Zero Tolerance camp on the Pine Ridge side of the Pine Ridge and White Clay border, says, "People don't see it, but children, are dying left and right out here because of alcohol.
Even if you're a drinker, oh no! There's no way the white man in South Dakota will give a Lakota a liquor license!"
Approximately 50 people rallied in downtown Pine Ridge, only 2 miles from White Clay, to bring visibility to the vote and to encourage people to vote no on today's referendum. Onlookers waved and honked as the group walked 1.5 miles from the hospital to the main 4 corners of Pine Ridge, eventually stopping traffic in all 4 directions with police assistance.
Do it for your children and your grandchildren! It has nothing to do with you!
The infant mortality rate here is the largest on this continent, almost 300% higher than the U.S. national average, and with 8 out of 10 Pine Ridge Lakota homes affected by alcoholism, many of those deaths are alcohol-related.
Oh no to alcohol! Our future depends on it! I want America's freedom! Go live there!
It's tough to say whether the Oglala Lakota will choose to have alcohol permitted within their nation. Informal polling of both protesters in Pine Ridge and individuals in White Clay reveal a community at odds with itself. The battle for legalization of alcohol is most highlighted in the gray areas at the border. There's a blue building, a dilapidated one, where no single agency has jurisdiction. No police cross the building, and the people there are caught in limbo. It's where they wait for beer trucks, and where the battleground truly is between tribal members. Today's referendum is a monumental one, and the polls are now open.